Peter Schweizer, president of the Government Accountability Institute, host of the Drill Down podcast. Peter, a friend of mine last week said, Laura, how does anyone in the press not look at this situation, how we're dealing with China today, and not conclude that Joe Biden is bought and paid for by the Chinese? Is that an overstatement, or does it get it just right?
Well, I think it does get it right. And here's the thing, Laura. Imagine if we weren't talking about Chinese companies. Imagine if we were talking about relationships to big oil or big tech. The press would be all over it. But there's a reason they don't want to deal with the issue of China. And that is a intelligence term that they use in China called elite capture. And elite capture is basically their strategy of going around the world and co-opting elites in Asia, in the United States, giving them lucrative commercial deals. Let's remember, by the way, Laura, that some of those commercial deals with Beijing are still taking place. Hunter Biden is still participating in them while his father is president of the United States. So this is a well thought out strategy by Beijing. Basically, what they want to do is decapitate the leadership in the United States by striking these lucrative deals. And it's worked with the Bidens and with others in Washington, D.C.
Now, one of the scandals that the media just kind of laughs off, doesn't even consider, is the secretive selling of Hunter Biden's lousy artwork. Now, we know that at some point in the coming weeks, hundreds of thousands of dollars, as written in The Atlantic, will be funneled to the son of a sitting president. And none of us will know anything about who sent the money or where it originally came from. That's in The Atlantic today. Peter, how likely is it that foreign buyers are going to be using this obvious opportunity to shove more money into Hunter's pockets or other family members, namely the president's?
I think it's very likely. And Laura, look, if you go through the Hunter Biden emails, as I've been doing with the team for close to a year and scouring them, what you find out very quickly is that Hunter Biden and Joe Biden's finances are intertwined. They are not separate entities. There are numerous examples where Hunter Biden is paying bills for his father, which, by the way, is not legal. I mean, politicians can get occasional gifts from family members, but you cannot subsidize the lifestyle of a politician. That's what Hunter Biden's doing. So when Hunter Biden is doing foreign deals, whether they're these deals in Beijing where he gets checks for $5 million and there's no evidence he really did anything, or whether he's, putting together a painting and putting that up for sale. At the end of the day, the way the business model works in the Biden family is that the finances are intertwined and that Joe Biden will benefit one way or another from what they're doing. And look, let's be clear. Hunter Biden's friend, this gallery owner that is going to be selling his artwork, has spoken in the past about their desire to have ambitious plans to seek and find buyers in China. That's something that this gallery owner has been wanting to do for a while.
I mean, Peter, whether it's this or Kerry is basically Secretary of State vis-a-vis China. His wife has all this money in CCP entities through this trust. I mean, again, I keep saying, if Trump, they would be going bananas on this stuff. And now we're supposed to just say, oh, isn't this great? They're going to do climate change deals and everything's going to be great. No more coal plants in Central America. China's not going to build any of them. Come on.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's absolutely absurd. And just, John Kerry's position about, climate change, when he negotiated this great deal with China, when you look at the deal and you look what China's doing, in 2020, China built more coal-fired plants than are in the entire country of Australia. They just built that in 1 year. So this great deal that he says he got from China is ridiculous. And the climate change issues become kind of a stalking horse that Beijing uses to avoid criticism. Nancy Pelosi recently gave a speech over in Cambridge, England, where, in the past, 15 years ago, she was very critical of China. where she basically said, look, climate change trumps all of that. So I'm not going to really bang China on it anymore.
It's out the window. It's any criticism of China is now out the window because of climate change, period. I mean, to me, that's obvious. John Kerry should be nowhere near our China policy. Peter, best guest on this tonight. Thank you. And under Biden, we're not taking on China, of course.